What do you want from me? What do you want? I think so many times showing up late to the radio meeting on a Tuesday at 90.5 FM KSJS San Jose. And I'd show up late and I'd come bursting through the curtains in the back on the auditorium, and they're trying to have a meeting and doing serious things, and I'm sitting there going, ha, 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 ha. All the people are sitting in the auditorium listening to this damn blah, 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 old business, new business. Oh, what the fuck is going on? And I show up, and they'd look at me, and Nick Martinez would say, "You're late." And I say, "Yeah." And the one time I'm like, "Yeah, I was driving the 87, and I'm driving." And it's a true story. I was driving the 87, and somebody come busting out in front of me, and I'm like, "Rrr," and I'm running late anyway. It doesn't change the story. I was fucking late. And I said, "Yeah, I was driving the 87, and somebody came, and there was a big truck, and the fucking rain's coming down, and cars are spinning around, and this is the stuff that I start making up as time goes by. Yeah, and this car goes blowing off and crashes into this thing on the side, and this woman's screaming. I come skidding to a stop, and I was, oh no, an accident. And I'm like, I'm up on stage telling this shit. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on because, well, you know, I'm just telling an obvious lie in front of everybody, and anybody who can figure it out knows that I'm just making this shit up. I hope this isn't going to hurt an interview in the future. He lies. I'm just making shit up. It's not so much a lie. It's a fucking, it's a piece of entertainment in my mind that gets me out of something. And I say, yeah. And I say, there's this woman. She's sitting behind in the fucking dashboard's pinched against her legs, and she's holding this baby, and it's screaming and screaming. And I run up, I'm like, and I grab the baby and I throw it in the ditch, and I peel her out of there, and she's got blood spurting out of her fucking legs where they got torn off, and I take out my Bic, and I'm like, I wasn't carrying a Zippo at the time. I'm like, and I cauterize the spraying blood, and I say, I'm so glad I could make it at all. I'm sorry I'm late. And later, the one dude, Dave Pirtle, the madman, he says after the meeting, he says, I could tell it was a joke when you threw the baby in the ditch. I'm like, how did that tell you anything? But at the same time, he says, yeah, he says, Daniel Severin over there, who was the format director for us at that point, finally, it was getting later in time where just people fucking hated me. And in the middle of my story, out in the audience, I didn't notice it happen. I'm on the stage. I'm not looking for attention. I'm just trying to get out of being in trouble. Daniel Severin got up in the middle of my story and was overheard to say, I can't stand the sound of that guy's voice. And he walked out of the auditorium. But so that's what it amounts to. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? And here I am. I'm watching. Right now, something with an old Betty White thing 10 years ago. Coming closer to 11 now that it's 2022. She's on Letterman, and she's telling her story, and Victoria walks out, and I said, hi, I'm watching, Betty White. she just died. She just died. I said, I don't know, was it the COVID? And Victoria's like, she was 99. I said, yeah. I said, but she seems so spry. And she says, yeah. She said, so was her grandma. She said she was out on the damn four-wheelers and riding the snowmobiles and rolling the fucking fields and doing everything. And I said, yeah. I said, what? There's my dad, too. My dad's 81. He's dying right now. And suddenly he went from being somebody that was just spry enough, even though his whole body was destroyed from hard work his whole life. Well, that's a good enough reason not to do a day of work in your life. Look what happens in the end, type of thing, you know. But you can't say that about me. It just happens to be. Jesus. You know, sometimes they just go. And I realized when she said it, yeah. So they go from just being completely there to being gone. Right now he's non-responsive. He's dying. I'm getting up there to see him. My siblings, none of them ever really want to understand, you know. We had our time together. I couldn't talk to my dad really ever until I started smoking at the age of 28. And we could finally sit down in the dark look across the fields and see up to the sky. And we'd talk about things. And I realized he's going now. Within the last 2 weeks, he went from being just completely there to I don't feel him. My brain is right. And he's drifted. He can't stay awake anymore. And I say to her, I'm like, how is it that it happened so fast? And I realize it's not so much that it happened so fast. Betty White, her grandma, my dad, it's almost like they've stolen something, you know. It's not that it happens so fast, it just seems fast to us. The truth is, sometimes people got away with taking more time than they had coming to them.